Good morning, students. Welcome to e-classes zone of pharma. Today we will discuss the theory prospect of BP 501T, that is medicinal chemistry second, and we will discuss the theory introductory part of this particular class or this particular PowerPoint presentation. I am Deepak Srivastava, Assistant Professor of NMT GCOP Indore. So let's start the introductory section of medicinal chemistry theory in terms of 5th semester of pharmaceutical chemistry. Firstly, we will discuss the content, and we will cover scope, objectives, course content, introduction of units, and recommended books. First point will be scope. So when we study the pharmaceutical medicinal chemistry, we should know the knowledge of particular structure, chemical and therapeutic values of drugs, SAR of particular drugs, importance of physical and chemical properties and metabolism of drugs, ADME, and specifically synthesis of some important drugs under each class and each category of specific drugs will be covered in the form of scope. Secondly, we will cover the objective of pharmaceutical medicinal chemistry. So broadly, the basic object of pharmaceutical medicinal chemistry is to understand the each and every class and structure of drug briefly in prospect of their therapeutic value, their pharmacological action, their ADME or drug metabolism pathway, their ADR, adverse drug reactions, their therapeutic value, and their specific SAR of some specific drug, as well as the chemical synthesis of some selected drug should be covered in the form of objective in the pharmaceutical medicinal chemistry. Okay, let's come to next slide. Course content. Course content preferred to the framing of subject, or I should say that we will cover the all points in prospect of each and every drug and each and every class of pharmaceutical medicinal chemistry. We will start the development of various class of drugs, their definitions, their classification, their mode of action, their uses, their adverse drug reactions, their specifically mentioned class of drugs and their SAR of particular selective category of drugs, and some important synthesis which is mentioned in the form of superscripted format in our syllabus. So we should cover those 7 points in the form of course content in pharmaceutical medicinal chemistry. When or if we prepared any type of notes or any type of content, we should cover these 6 or 7 points in our notes or our study in formulation of pharmaceutical medicinal chemistry's notes. So we should include these points in our notes, and it is the basic necessity or basic requirement of pharmaceutical medicinal chemistry. We should cover these points in our study in pharmaceutical medicinal chemistry. So these points are called course content, and it is important prospect of our syllabus that we cover this whole phenomena of course content to produce any kind of detailed notes or any kind of study material. When we prepared, we will follow these course content points in our notes. Now we will come under the introduction of different units which we covered in our pharmaceutical medicinal chemistry syllabus. So basically pharmaceutical medicinal chemistry syllabus is divided into 5 parts, unit 1 to unit 5. We will discuss each unit, or we will discuss outline of each unit in this particular presentation. In unit 1, we will cover 2 basic category of drug. Those are antihistaminic agents and antineoplastic agents. We will discuss what is antihistaminic drug, what is the use of antihistaminic agents, what is the subclasses of antihistaminic agents, what is the antagonist agonist derivative, what is the class of H1 antihistaminic agonist, and what is the types of H2 antagonist antihistaminic agents, what is the gastric proton pump inhibitor, what is the basic SAR, and what is the basic classification of antihistaminic agents, what is the ADME of antihistaminic agents, what are the storage capacity of antihistaminic agents, and detailed studies of antihistaminic agents we should cover in the form of antihistaminic agents classification and subclassification in Unit 1. We should say that Unit 1 will be classified or subclassified into the two parts of Unit 1. First is antihistaminic agents, and second will be the antineoplastic agent. In antineoplastic agent, we will define antineoplastic agent, subclassified antineoplastic agent, which will be classified into the 5 subclasses, and these subclasses will be further subclassified into different drugs. We will study detailedly in Unit 1st antineoplastic agents, and those explanation will be elaborated in form of Unit 1. When we start Unit 1, we will discuss briefly those subunits in the later session of our syllabus. Okay, now we will come Unit 2nd. In Unit 2nd, we will divide or subdivided Unit 2nd into 3 parts. First is anti-anginal agents, second is diuretics, and third is antihypertensive agents. We will discuss briefly each and every class of Unit 2nd, and each subclasses. For example, anti-anginal will be subclassified into 2 categories: vasodilator and calcium channel blocker. We will study briefly anti-anginal agents, what is vasodilators, what is the mode of action of particular vasodilator anti-anginal agents, and what is the mode of action of particular calcium channel blockers. We will discuss briefly in Unit 2nd. Apart from that, we will discuss diuretics agents, their subclasses, their different derivatives, for example, thiazide derivatives, loop diuretics derivatives, potassium sparing diuretics, osmotic diuretics, and carbonic anhydrase inhibitor, briefly in the Unit 2nd part, diuretics part. And last part of Unit 2nd will be the antihypertensive agents. We will study briefly what is antihypertensive agents, what were the basic mode of action of antihypertensive agents, and what is the subclasses of antihypertensive agents, what is the SAR, and what is the mode of action of antihypertensive agent. We will discuss briefly in these 3 subunits in the part of Unit 2nd. And Unit 3rd, we will discuss both cardiovascular drugs which belong to antiarrhythmic drugs, antihyperlipidemic agents, coagulant and anticoagulant agents, and drug used in conjunctive heart failure disease will be discussed briefly. In Unit 4th, we will discuss Unit 4th in form of 6 subparts, which are drug acting on endocrine system, sex hormones, drugs for erectile dysfunction, oral contraceptives, corticosteroids, thyroid and antithyroid drugs. Unit 4th will be an important unit in terms of competitive exam and in terms of our examination pattern or examination format. In last unit, Unit 5th, we should cover antidiabetic agents, local anesthetics, benzoic acid derivatives, aminobenzoic acid derivatives, and lidocaine, anildine derivatives, and miscellaneous drugs. Last part of our today's presentation, we will discuss the recommended books. You should recommend 3 reference books, which is Wilson, Foy, or Berger. You will use any one of these books in form of your studies, and in form of textbook, you should use any textbook as per your choice to reference of study of pharmaceutical medicinal chemistry. But you should remember that you should vary the textbook structure to compare with the reference book, because in some textbook there will be the structure will be not properly formed, so you will be rectified the structure, or you will be cross check the structure of each and individual drugs of textbook. In any reference book, you should follow all the 3 reference book, or you may choose any one reference book as prospect of recovering or preparation of notes in form of textbook or reference book. So this is the basic presentation of introductory section of pharmaceutical medicinal chemistry. Hope you should understand each and every content of this slide, and we will meet as early as possible to our first unit, antihistaminic agents. I will upload the unit first PPT as early as possible. So thank you very much for listening patiently this PPT, and we will meet as early as possible. Thank you.